How do we empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more?
It starts with one.
From one employee to a team, collaborating with another team.
From one partner to their customers to their customers' customers.
Your passion.
Your ingenuity.
Your hard work. Supporting inclusive opportunity.
Protecting fundamental rights.
Committing to a sustainable future.
Earning trust.
For our society.
Our economy. Our world.
That's the impact. That's the impact.
That's the impact each of us can have.
That's our collective opportunity.
Empowering 8 billion people.
We're entering a new era of AI,
where we will be able to build as fast as our imagination,
where creativity will have no constraints.
And we can focus on the big picture.
Together, we can ensure these benefits reach
every country, every industry,
and every individual.
When we empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more,
we empower the world.
Hello, everyone. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to be back here at Inspire, and to me as a platform company, the most important thing we get to do is to come together as an ecosystem with all of our partners and reaffirm our commitment to our customers, to innovation on behalf of our customers, and to serve our customers across every community, every country, across every sector of the economy. So it's a very special time for us to be at a partner conference to really celebrate not only the technology, but most importantly, the excellence in our partner ecosystem. And talking about excellence, I want to first start by congratulating all of the Partner of the Year award winners that we have sitting here. So thank you on behalf of our customers for leading this ecosystem and the innovation around this ecosystem. Congratulations. We have a ton of exciting things to talk about throughout this keynote and beyond throughout this conference. And especially Inspire to me at a time when there is massive changes happening around the platform makes it even more special. Right? There's no question we are in the midst of a massive platform shift with the new generation of AI that's going to transform pretty much every sector, every category of computing. Perhaps a good place to start is to sort of ground ourselves in what is that shift? What is the characteristics of the shift that we all, as an ecosystem, need to both understand and deeply innovate on top of? There are two dimensions to it. The first dimension is around the user interface. If you think about the arc of computing, the last 70 plus years has been one constant pursuit to create human-computer interfaces that are more intuitive, that are more natural, right? Everything that we did, I grew up through the graphical user interface. The mouse and the keyboard were very revolutionary when they came out, changed how we sort of remediated computer-human interaction. Obviously, multi-touch on the phone was another massive shift. But we now have arrived, I would say, at that next logical but big leap, which is natural language. To be able to have natural language as the interface we have with computers is being the pursuit, and we get to exercise that across every application we build, every interface we build. The second piece is around information management, right? The entire history of computing has been about digitizing people, places, things, and making sense of them. That's really essentially what we've done. Information management, as Bill used to always say, is the only category that actually exists, which is you really digitize the world and try to reason and understand the world. In that context, we now have a new superpower, We have a reasoning engine that allows us to start with a draft for any activity we want to complete, any task we want to complete. We have a reasoning engine that gives us predictive capability. We have a reasoning engine that will give us more insights. That's the two shifts. When we talk about AI, you can distill it into a more natural interface using natural language, a reasoning engine that works on top of all your data, giving you more power. Those are the two things that we should keep in mind and ground ourselves. And speaking of that, every category, right? In our parlance, we talk about solution areas. Judson's going to come talk about every room of the house being remodeled by AI. And that's what is going to happen, whether it's work, whether it's business process and business applications, whether it's security, whether it's software development, both low-code, no-code, and professional development. Every software category, as we know of it, is fundamentally going to be transformed by these two changes in the platform. Now, of course, it's going to create a massive platform opportunity, and we've seen this before. If you think about it, in my 30-plus years at Microsoft, I've lived through these three transformations. And each one of them, whether it's the PC server, the web internet, mobile cloud, have been massive in terms of creating partner innovation, partner opportunity, reaching, in fact, one of the things that's given me the greatest pleasure is to see even the composition of our partner ecosystem and how representative it is of the geographies of all the geographies of the world, and also all the sectors of the economy. Now the question is, what happens next? With this AI comes more opportunity. In fact, if you look at the data that's coming out, this is probably going to be the most profound shift as a percentage impact on GDP of technology. Something like 10%. There will be additional GDP growth, right? So if we have an economy that's around 100 trillion, we may have 7 to 10 trillion more of GDP growth driven by this next generation of AI technology. And that translates as a percentage of GDP growth into a massive partner opportunity. Look, we are already, as an ecosystem, participating in a $4 trillion opportunity. That could, in fact, grow by another 50%. So that means approximately $2 to $2.5 trillion of additional TAM is going to be addressable by all the innovation across our partner ecosystem. So there's no question the opportunity is tremendous. And our partner ecosystem, the uniqueness of what you all represent, really is what gets me most excited. It's the map of the world. We can reach every community in every country, in every sector of the economy, both public and private. That's what's exciting. The rate of diffusion, in fact, one of the most fascinating things in even the last 6 months as I've been going to different parts of the world, talking to lots of you, what's unbelievable is the rate of diffusion of this technology. And thanks to sort of all your capability is what's most exciting about this particular revolution and platform shift. And that's what really grounds us in our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. In some sense, this is our collective mission, right? You all work with us, partner with us, co-create and innovate with us in order to drive that equitable economic growth in every part of the world, to ensure that we protect those fundamental rights, to ensure that the innovation that we do is protecting our finite resource of the planet. We build trust across everything we do. These are the core pillars of our mission. And we've been hard at work. In fact, one of the things that people tell me is like, Satya, you must have decided to do a bunch of press releases starting January because we've been really doing a lot of innovation. Believe me, we've been hard at work over the last multiple years, and for sure, the pace of innovation has picked up in the last 6 months. And we've sort of started, in fact, with GitHub Copilot. We followed up with everything that we are doing with Microsoft 365 Copilot, the Dynamics 365 Copilot, the infrastructure in Azure for both inference and training, our coding tools for low-code, no-code. So there's just tons and tons of innovation. And it's just not the innovation in our products, but we're also able to distill all of this into a first-class platform construct. That's what we do as a platform company. We've built out this Copilot stack. And everything from the infrastructure layer all the way to the foundation, to how we manage data. In fact, something like Fabric, I think, is going to be very, very transformative going forward in how we think about the AI age, how we think about the foundational models themselves, these reasoning engines that then reason over that data, the orchestration layer, which is going to be one of the most important middle-tier pieces. And then at the application level, not only do we have what it takes to create the user interface, right? Copilot is even a design pattern. It's not about autopilot, remember. It's about putting humans in the loop and designing it in such a way that the human is always in control with a Copilot that's powerful and helping them with every task. So we've really brought everything from user experience design patterns to technology into a first-class construct that then in your hands can be translated into unbelievable innovation everywhere. And that's what the Copilot ecosystem represents, right? Whether it's ISVs, SIs, startups, all coming together. And the combination of the Copilot stack, the Copilot ecosystem, is what drives the AI advantage for us collectively, and really the AI advantage for our customers that we can deliver. So that's what's really exciting. This particular event, this particular conference, again, we're going to have 40+ announcements, 40+ innovations, and I wanted to highlight 5 of them. The first is I am really thrilled to be announcing Bing Chat Enterprise. Like, this is the feature, this is the product, this is the moment in some sense that every CIO, CISO, business user has been waiting for. Give me ChatGPT that I can use by logging in through AAD with all the enterprise data privacy and security guarantees. And you have it now. With Bing Chat Enterprise, you log into Bing with AAD, and you really have all of the enterprise promises, and in combination with the Microsoft 365 Copilot, between Bing Chat Enterprise and the Microsoft 365 Copilot, knowledge work and knowledge workflow is going to be completely transformed. So to give you a little bit of a flavor for this, let me invite up on stage Yusuf Mehdi to show you a quick demo of all of this innovation. Yusuf?
Good morning, everybody. How are you? So great to be with all of our great partners today. In February, we introduced the new Bing, your AI-powered Copilot for the web. And the response has been nothing short of incredible. We've had over 1 billion chats to date. And since that launch, we've had literally over 100 new improvements and new features we've rolled out. And today, I'm excited to introduce to you 2 of them: multimodal visual search and Bing Chat Enterprise that Satya just announced. First, let's talk about the new visual search. Leveraging the power of GPT-4, Bing Chat now accepts images as well as text. It'll actually analyze an image that you upload and give you insights related and answers related to that image. Let's take a look. Now, I love architecture, and I want to learn a little bit more about the interesting details of a building that I've seen when I'm walking around. So I'll take this image and upload it, and it'll tell me, Bing will tell me, hey, this is actually a cartouche, and it can actually detect on the image elements like the presence of a map, which signifies the representation of the age of exploration. And there's a wreath of leaves that talk about the victory and sort of glory age of Roman and Greek inspiration from architecture. It's incredible. Imagine being able to take pictures of anything out there and then have Bing come back and tell you, for example, what an international adapter work in a certain country. It's rolling out today, and we can't wait for you to try it. Next, let's show you Bing Chat Enterprise, your AI-powered chat for work. I think this might be one of the biggest things that happens in generative AI this year. Since we've launched Bing, we've heard from many corporate customers who are clamoring for these powerful AI tools, but they're worried about their company data, that it won't be protected. In fact, some of these concerns from companies have actually led them to ban AI at work. Well, today, this morning, all that's going to change. Bing Chat Enterprise now delivers commercial data protection for your AI-powered chats. This means your confidential business data won't leak outside your organization. Your employees' data is not commingled with web data. Data is not saved. No one at Microsoft can view your data. And the chat conversations in Bing Chat are not used to train the underlying AI model. All right, you ready to take a look at how this works? Let's take a look. Here's Bing Chat Enterprise. And I can take full advantage of the power of AI to research and create. All I need to do is log in with my work credentials. And now you can visibly see that the experience has changed and that on every search and every chat, your data is protected. So let's stay on this architecture theme. I'm working on a confidential proposal to design a new building headquarters, let's say in downtown Cleveland. And with Bing Chat Enterprise, I can prompt Bing now with my confidential bid information, my pricing, my guarantees, my unique certification capabilities. And Bing will automatically create a proposal, introductory proposal paragraph. And I can do this now with the confidence that my confidential information data is protected. Look how great that is. I type in the confidential data, and I get the paragraph. But let's go further, right? I want to have Bing Chat Enterprise now compare my confidential specifications to one of the buildings that are out there in Cleveland. And in no time, I get this beautifully formatted table that pulls information from the web about Key Tower in Cleveland with my internal confidential data. And you can see that Bing Chat Enterprise combines the power of GPT-4 with Bing search data. You get the latest and most up-to-date information. We also provide you the links, so if you want to go learn more about that information, with one click you can get there. And finally, I can even have Bing Chat Enterprise create a SWOT analysis for my strategy planning by comparing confidential building data with public data. So I can simply ask it to create a SWOT analysis, and you'll see it comes back now with a whole bunch of great bullets. Again, all of this is analysis happening. The ability to get sort of a next level of productivity and creativity is just unmatched. You can now do all this with full confidence that your data is protected. All right, I think you're going to love it. Yeah. And if you love what you can do with Bing Chat Enterprise, wait till you see what you can do with Microsoft 365 Copilot. It has all of the capabilities of Bing Chat Enterprise, plus so much more. It lets you reason over all of your business data in the Microsoft Graph. And it's built on Microsoft's comprehensive approach to security, so you know it's enterprise grade. Let's take a quick look here. I'm going to go in Teams now, and I can ask Copilot to access the information from a PowerPoint presentation to create a starting point for my written proposal. Notice how nice it is just to use these powerful AI capabilities within the flow of my work. I'm just in Teams, I just ask, I point it at a document, and up comes this fantastic analysis. Microsoft 365 Copilot is integrated into the world's most popular productivity app tools like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, and Teams. And as we shared at our initial announcement, there are an incredible array of new capabilities like automated team summaries, which I use every day now, which offer me a whole new way to work. So to summarize, 3 things today. First, Bing Chat is your free AI-powered Copilot for the web, and I'm delighted to announce that as of this morning, you can go out and try the multimodal visual search. Take a look and let me know what you think of it. Next, Bing Chat Enterprise. It's your AI-powered chat for work, first of its kind. It's available today at no additional cost for the over 160 million people who use Microsoft 365 business offerings, and soon we'll have a standalone offering. And finally, Microsoft 365 unlocks a whole new way of working. Based on the positive feedback from our pilot testing, we're pleased to share our final pricing today. Microsoft 365 Copilot will be available at $30 per user per month. So as our great partners, this is an incredible opportunity to accelerate your customers' move to Microsoft 365. Today, we unlock a new era of creativity and productivity as we bring the power of AI to work. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Yusuf. Multimodal chat, work identity, and the Microsoft 365 Copilot is fundamentally going to transform knowledge work as we know of it, and really exciting to see. And now talking about knowledge work, the next thing that I want to announce is the Microsoft Sales Copilot. This is a super exciting sort of next step in the evolution of the scope of copilots. If you think about it, we've talked about the horizontal knowledge work, we've talked about individuals and individuals collaborating. But now we up-level this to the level of the organization and business processes that really span the organization. And this allows any one of us who is in sales to stay in the flow of our activity with our customers, right? So whether you're responding in email or you are in a Teams meeting, you get to stay in the flow with the customer and ground that activity of customer interaction with CRM data, whether it's from Salesforce or whether it's from Dynamics 365, and to be able to complete your task without having to go out of band to your system of record. That's the dream that we've been waiting for a long, long time. I think every SaaS application category is going to be fundamentally rewired because of this capability. We are very, very excited to both announce and launch the Microsoft Sales Copilot. Now, another third announcement I have is also related to business process. In fact, the most important tool that perhaps all of us in our partner ecosystem are going to use is to identify the opportunity for how we drive that AI advantage to every customer. It's all about process mining. So I'm very excited to announce the general availability of the process mining tools in Power Automate. This is the tool chain that every one of us can use to be able to first map out the processes, sales processes, finance, human resources, everything that you can think of, which is a business process, and then optimize that business process. Optimize that business process with the power of AI, things that can be automated, where you can deploy copilots to give the human in the loop the advantage to advance the business process. So process mining is perhaps is the tip of the spear for you to be able to then drive additional value to every customer interaction, every customer deployment, and every customer project that you are engaged in. Now, talking about the fourth big area of announcement is Azure AI updates. The first thing I want to sort of start with is OpenAI. Simply put, Microsoft loves OpenAI. You know, every one of these platform shifts that we've been engaged in has also come with an iconic industry-shaping partnership that we've been involved in. And in this age and in this era, it's the partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI. We love everything about OpenAI, what they stand for. Think about it, right? It's a non-profit entity that then has a per-profit capped entity, right? It's a profit-capped entity that we are deeply partnered with, innovating in. We build the infrastructure to train their large models. They're innovating on the algorithms and the training of these frontier models. We innovate on applications on top of it. You all get to innovate on top of it. It's a very unique way for us to do things that are going to really fundamentally shape the world going forward. And they care deeply about AI safety. They care about their mission. And all of that shows through in all the innovation that we've sort of been able to bring forth to date, and what's is going to come going forward. Now, today, I'm also thrilled to take what we've been doing with OpenAI and expand it to the next phase. The regional expansion of OpenAI APIs. We've now got more regional expansion in North America, in Europe, and for the first time, we're going to be able to deploy this in Asia. So we're very, very excited about all that's coming with OpenAI and what you all can do on top of OpenAI. Now, speaking about all of the AI innovation, the other element is Microsoft loves open source. And this is something we are one of the largest contributors to open source, and when it comes to AI, it's no different. And so one of the things that we are very excited today is the announcement of Meta's Llama 2 coming to both Azure and Windows. Meta has been doing phenomenal work in innovating in the open models, and Llama is sort of really captured the imagination of what open source and AI foundational models can do. And now with Llama 2, it takes it to the next level, and we are going to bring all of that to both Azure. And quite frankly, one of the most exciting things is to see these models even being optimized for Windows so that application developers now can take advantage of both the frontier models of OpenAI as well as the models that are available in open source to be able to transform every software category there is. And to show you all of this in action, I want to invite up on stage Jessica Hawk to show you Azure AI in action. Jessica?
Azure AI is the cloud platform offering the best tools to ground, test, and deploy both open source and frontier models, and always do so safely. As a former partner myself, and now as the leader of the data, AI, and digital applications business here at Microsoft, I know just how important it is to stay current with everything that Microsoft is bringing to market. And so today, I'm thrilled to show you just how easy we're making this for you with the Azure AI Studio, the place where a developer has everything they need to bring AI-powered experiences to their applications. So you can see I'm starting with a selection of models, including OpenAI's groundbreaking GPT-4, which is available in the Azure OpenAI service, along with all of the other OpenAI frontier models. There are also great open source models and thousands of models from Hugging Face. And you'll notice it now also includes the Llama 2 models from Meta. After choosing a model, I can see sample inputs and outputs, try models out, and fine-tune and deploy models into their own private sandbox running in Azure. And I like to call this the AI version of the old file save as move. And I want to pause here because this is where magic happens. This means organizations can quickly and easily benefit from the power of these foundational models, yet they have their own private instance of the model. And why does this matter? Because application usage and fine-tuning of the model makes the model more effective. And model effectiveness is the currency of AI. And most importantly, as I deploy the model, I can ensure it follows responsible AI best practices because Azure AI Studio has content safety built right in. I'll come back to that in a minute. And so with just a few clicks, I can deploy a brand new Llama 2 endpoint and start integrating it into my applications straight away. And it can be that easy. But I'd like to take it a step further because we know in this new world of generative AI, prompt engineering, which if you don't know, is the process of choosing the right words, phrases, symbols, and formats to guide the model, is critical to getting that great result from the large language models. And so to do this, I'm using PromptFlow, which supports commonly used frameworks like LangChain and Semantic Kernel, or I can just use native Python. And it works with multiple data sources, both structured and unstructured, so I stay in the flow of my development work, never needing to move to other tools. And we know that safety is paramount, and it is the most important priority for our Azure AI platform. Using Azure AI Content Safety, again built right into the Azure AI Studio, I can directly add safety controls to the deployed model and choose from a range of high, medium, and low sensitivity labels and other controls for an even more finely tuned safety experience. So now that I've got the safety controls where I want them to be, PromptFlow has tooling for bulk testing to evaluate the results from the prompts. And you can see how the answers are being evaluated for how grounded the answer is to the original question on a scale of 1 to 5. I can also use built-in evaluations for things like accuracy, relevancy, or coherence, or I can even just create my own parameters. And once testing is complete, deployment is easy, creating the final API, which includes all of the power that the foundational model offers with the additional value from the prompt engineering and safety work that I just added. I can even use the built-in testing chat window to see the model being queried via the new prompt flow. And once deployed, I can always come back here to monitor how the model is performing as the application is actually getting used. Now, Satya also announced that we've optimized the Llama 2 models to run on Windows. There's been amazing advances in Windows hardware in the last few years, with better GPUs and now NPUs unlocking the power to run models locally. When you couple that computing power with the utility of the Windows terminal and the Windows subsystem for Linux, things like local support for container-based development and great tools like VS Code and advanced AI tools like the Onyx Runtime, you have a fantastic place to do AI development locally. So here you'll see that I have the 7 billion parameter MetaLlama 2 model running locally on my Windows PC via Onyx and DirectML being called by a C# WinUI application. As you can see, the model easily generates a very detailed reply. At Microsoft, we are committed to offering the most comprehensive selection of open and frontier models like Llama 2. We're bringing together the best services and tools available to empower developers and organizations to bring AI-powered applications to life easily, safely, and at the pace our customers in this era of AI demand. Back to you, Satya.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jessica. That really, I think, perhaps best captures the AI advantage that everyone in the partner ecosystem has. The ability to use Azure AI with the frontier models and the best open source models to ultimately drive value to our customers. It's very, very exciting. So my last announcement is around the partner program. In fact, Nicole was going to come later and talk about the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program in great detail. But it's really exciting to see us completely revamp the investments, the incentives, so that you all can really take advantage of everything that this AI age has to offer and drive both business growth for yourselves and, most importantly, value for our customers. And this is going to span everything, right? It's going to be about partners who are startups, ISVs, and system integrators of all sizes and across all industry segments. And so we're very excited about the partner program. But one of the things that I always go back to is how any given partner innovates with new technology. And I want to just share one great example with you. Epic. You know, in the United States, as a percentage of GDP, healthcare is 18-19% of our economy. And Epic is the leader when it comes to clinical management systems. And what they are doing is pretty phenomenal, right? They're not only bringing all of their software to the cloud, they're now taking advantage of some of the advances in AI with nuance and diarization of the patient-physician interaction and incorporating it right into their application. But perhaps most importantly, they're fundamentally changing all clinical workflow through their innovation on top of Azure OpenAI. And to me, to be able to sort of really see an ISV like Epic, who has been transformative in healthcare already, to take this next step forward with this platform shift and have an impact in perhaps one of the most critical sectors of our economy, where you can have better outcomes for patients, better outcomes for clinicians, and better outcomes for every provider out there is fantastic. That's what it sort of is all about at the end of the day.